Welcome, my little troglodytes. As you can see, I've expanded my pleasure of gaming into the world of video games. I've decided to begin this little soiree with a game called Roblox, as I've heard it's quite accessible. But what gaming video is complete without a dynamic cast to bounce off of? So allow me to collect mine.
My lord Shao Kahn.
For what reason do you disturb me, sorcerer?
The ethereal plane of magic has been disturbed. I have sensed it. It seems to be a message for you, a summons.
Who would be so foolish as to summon me?
That remains unknown, but we have been able to track their location. A portal waits for you to pass through.
I am to leave my sanctuary unguarded? Do you think me a fool?
Do not be concerned, Emperor. Your palace and your realm are in good hands. I shall ensure none defy your will in your absence.
So you shall, lest you feel the wrath of Shao Kahn. Very well, I shall return.
Without the elements of harmony, nothing will stand in the way of my perfect night. Wait! What is that? It's as if some most malevolent magic is reaching through the barrier between my world and others. A threat to my rule, perhaps? No! I won't allow anything to set me back!
Now then, it should only be a matter of time before.
Before your death arrives.
You're a big fellow, aren't you? But the air of power and strength surrounds you. I must admit, I'm quite impressed.
Continued flattery, such as that may very well keep you alive. Though you remind me of a vile snake, I know.
I choose to take that as a compliment.
Perhaps you should. Now, where have you summoned me to? Is this Earthrealm?
Close. We are confined within a dimensional space called the Shadow Realm. It is a realm of darkness I can conjure with the magic of this item around my neck.
Is that so? That would explain the Elder God's failure to intervene on my entry.
Indeed. But I believe we are waiting on but one more arrival. The beacon I sent out should have attracted those sensitive to mystics, especially those that lean on the darker side of nature.
Such as one who commands the very night itself, perhaps.
What in darkness' sake is that? Am I seriously beholden to a large talking horse?
It would appear that way. Though I'm native to a realm with centaurs, large humanoid reptiles, and four-armed warriors larger than I. This isn't very strange to me.
Creatures such as this are confined to the role of servant. Monsters I and others like me command.
You? Command me? Such insolence will serve only to buy you my eternal ire.
Yes, well, let's hold off on that. After all, I didn't bring either of you here for combat.
Hold on, is this Roblox?
Ah, you're familiar?
Among some circles, I am known to be quite the gamer.
Start explaining yourselves now before I bring this to a swift end. What is a Roblox?
Just observe and learn. This is why I brought the two of you here.
I shall take the mouse and keyboard then. This game is mine.
Well, that certainly looks like a pleasant fellow.
He reminds me of the bed of skulls I often leave in my wake after a mighty conquest.
I, too, am something of a conqueror. I had to wrest the rights of leadership from my insufferable sister.
Most admirable. I also claimed my empire from the one who used to command me. He never saw it coming.
My nights are most regularly spent perusing the dreams of others. I would not be caught sleeping through it. The night is far too glamorous for that.
Don't forget you're not playing as you. just some lowly, pathetic mortal.
Why would you play something where you don't even get to be yourself? That sounds rather dull, especially when you're as powerful as I.
Oh, I thought I was waiting for some transition. Turns out the game simply didn't bother to indicate that I was allowed to move again.
Pathetic. I would not allow anything to prevent me from doing what I want. Not even the higher laws of the universe I am confined to.
You're supposed to enter through the red door.
Silence, knave. I shall enter through whichever door I choose.
Obviously not.
I said silence. Damn it! Hold your wretched tongue, lest I remove it from your quivering corpse.
You really should just go through the red door. It seems rather obvious by this point.
Not you two. I'm already going through it.
Yes, you most certainly are.
I command you to be silent.
Now where are we? Some kind of forest?
'Twould appear so.
This looks just like the personal hell I've sent some unfortunate souls to after defeating them in a duel. A shadow game, to be precise.
That sounds like some sort of nightmare magic. My area of expertise.
I prefer to use my overwhelming power to force my way through a problem when I'm able to. Otherwise, I'll simply alter the conditions until I can.
Oh, look, even Greg from accounting is here. I wonder if this game was developed by someone I once sent to the Shadow Realm.
What the fuck is wrong with his face?
It seems that prolonged exposure to the Shadow Realm comes with some nasty side effects.
He wants us to go into the obviously haunted carnival. That's certain to go well.
Regardless, it appears to be the only way we can go. The Shadow Realm is indeed very railroad adjacent.
I do indeed trade in souls quite regularly. Allow me to take the lead on this section.
If you insist. What was your name?
I am Shao Kahn, Emperor of the Realm of Outworld and Conqueror of Worlds.
I see. I am Nightmare Moon, Supreme Ruler of the land of Equestria. What of our third?
I go by many names. Bandit King, Dark Spirit, the Dark One. You may simply refer to me as the evil spirit within the Millennium Ring, otherwise known as Bakura.
Bakura it shall be then.
It just clicked with me how tiny we seem to be in this game. Is this typical of these strange virtual aberrations?
I believe you can adjust your model's height in this game. Being this tiny is a choice.
It's not my Roblox account. I simply hacked into the Pharaoh's. I believe he shares one with his host body. Both are on the shorter side of the spectrum.
These look nothing like the souls I'm familiar with. I should know, seeing as I've wrested billions from their bodies.
I have some experience with cursed dolls myself.
Sometimes, my warriors enter Earthrealm disguised as natives and indulge in some of the culture. They have told me before of such things depicted in movies. Annabelle or Chucky I especially hear about.
Ah, yes, Chucky. The latest addition to a little game called Dead by Daylight.
I am familiar with that one. Many nights have been spent stream sniping until I make them angry enough that they get themselves banned from Twitch.
You're a bit of a prick, aren't you?
'Tis not my fault they chose to make a living doing something that actively makes their experience more difficult for them.
I have no idea what either of you are talking about right now.
That's probably for the best.
Indeed, and with all three souls, now we return to... Greg, was it?
From accounting, yes. Give him the souls, and we get the ticket to enter the tent.
Why we can't simply lift the cloth door and go in is beyond me.
It's one of those fundamental aspects of gaming you have to accept in order to enjoy it. Suspend your disbelief a little to achieve maximum enjoyment.
I see. I think I am beginning to understand a little.
And there's Greg now.
A most unfortunate face, but far from the most horrifying thing I've witnessed amongst my nightly peruse. At least he seems to have some manners. Perhaps there's hope yet. Into the darkness we venture. lost it! Again with this game not telling me I can move about freely! Laugh at me again, and I shall bring this engagement to a swift end!
Whatever you do, it wouldn't be enough to get rid of me. I am as persistent as a parasite.
Just like Quan Chi.
Oh, look, Arcana. So this is what happened to him after Marek sent him into the darkness.
He appears to have thrived from his banishment. I'd be impressed if I didn't hate what I was looking at.
A fine court jester he would make.
Find a way to escape? Bring him before me instead. I will tear him to pieces in mortal combat.
Suspension of disbelief, my friend.
Is there some pony behind us? I hear whatever that noise is.
I hate that that's a term.
This looks like the entrance to the cobalt mines. I wonder if I will find any of my slaves here.
You keep slaves?
Of course. Across my many conquests are many residents who would rather see me removed from power. As a result, I stripped them of their ability to make any real difference in my empire. Many are sent to the mines to live out their days collecting invaluable gems and other such materials to further expand my wealth and power.
I suppose that is where a glaring difference in our approaches to rule begins. I desire to be loved and admired by my subjects. It wouldn't do me well to strip the concepts of creativity and expression. My knight is all I need to secure my power.
Is it confidence or hubris that enables that way of thinking? To assume treachery and question loyalty is wise. To presume loyalty is to invite treachery yourself.
It appears we've found the first relic. As fascinating as this dichotomy of royalty is, perhaps we should keep our attention upon the game.
Oh, I see. You have to deactivate the magic being cast upon the item first before you can retrieve it.
I assume the jester is somewhere stalking us as well.
He said our deaths would be quick and painless. One can safely assume he's hunting us, with that considered.
Yes, right you are. In any case, it will be wise to check around every corner.
Like that, you mean? It appears he didn't spot us, so we're in luck.
And now we need to get closer and risk being detected, as this is our only means of advance.
Hesitating? Could you be afraid?
I fear nothing!
I wonder where he disappeared to. The bloke moves quicker than I expected.
It makes no difference. I shall push ahead and acquire the remaining relics regardless.
We found him.
But he didn't see us, I don't think.
Retreating now.
I thought he went down the first side path we passed. Now that I know where he is, I intend to take the first route and go from there.
That sounds like fear to me.
It is not fear. I simply wish to actually win the game. Excellent! Relic number 2!
I will agree that the result is far more important than the method. I may have my own preference, but I prefer victory to dignity.
As do I. But naturally, when the opportunity is there, ¿por qué lo nos dos?
I beg your pardon?
Did you just start speaking Chaos Realmer?
It's another Earth language, Spanish. It means, why not both?
Huzzah! The last relic is mine!
And while maintaining complete lack of contact with our pursuer, commendable.
'Tis difficult to get one over on Nightmare Moon.
Blood of 100 men, huh? I have had such baths on the battlefield.
Yes, the epitome of being awash in the blood of your enemies.
I take it you are familiar?
Not quite. You see, I prefer far more subtle methods to get what I want. Like a dungeon master, I control all the pieces on the game board and get them to act according to my whims.
That buffoon is nowhere in sight. I consider this an absolute victory. Do you not agree?
It would be difficult to disagree at this point, all things considered.
As I said, absolute victory.
It seems all there is left to do is place the relics atop the podiums.
Can the jester not pursue us into this room?
Whether he can or cannot is irrelevant, so long as we complete the objective before we get the chance to find out.
Wise words. Let's finish this quickly then.
There seems to be some sort of mystical response. I wonder what sorcery this is.
If I had to guess, some form of occult ritual magic.
Am I to approach the light? That's rather sickening.
Not a fan?
My sister was the light to my darkness, the sun and moon embodied. I was constantly overshadowed by her precious light, so the very idea of light being our salvation here disgusts me.
I don't think a single one of us here can be classified as a mere mortal.
Right you are! This fool has no idea what they're up against.
That appears to be the end. This was but a demo?
It would appear so, but the great thing about Roblox is just how many games exist within it, of all different varieties. There will be plenty of content to be consumed, not to mention all the other games out there we could play.
Yes, you make a most valid point worth considering.
I suppose I can take time away from my imperial duties to do more of this. I confess my intrigue.
And the great thing is, there are others I can call upon, so it may not always be just the three of us.
An entire community of like-minded gamers. The prospect is intriguing indeed.
Very well. You have my attention, Bakura.
Well then, Shao Kahn, Nightmare Moon. I look forward to seeing the two of you again when next we commune.
I demand to choose the game we play next.
Very well, what shall it be?
The greatest first-person shooter of all time. The game I've chosen is